In September of 2016, a team of archaeologists in Minnesota uncovered the remains of what appears to be evidence of an early video game. It seems to have been called Valley of the Kings. So far, only an ancient instruction manual and musical soundtrack have been unearthed, and efforts to locate related artifacts in nearby dig sites have proven fruitless. However, the artifacts that have been unearthed have already taken the field of ancient video game research by storm, and have made Dr. Vader an overnight celebrity in the community. Luckily, the instruction manual remains intact and has been very well preserved, so we've been able to learn a lot about what this game may have actually been like. Using carbon dating, the team has been able to determine that the manual was written around the year 1989, maybe even as early as 1988. This is groundbreaking because when I went to Ancient Video Game Archaeology University as an undergrad, we were taught that the emergence of video games coincided with about the year 2000. And then when I was getting my doctorate, it was discovered that there were video games in 1996, 1995, and that was stunning. But to think that the Homo sapiens were experimenting with video game technology in the late 80s, this changes everything. The instruction manual to Valley of the Kings contains multiple references to a game pack. Dr. Vader's team hypothesizes that video games in these archaic times were played on cartridges, which were likely somewhere around 3 to 5 meters in diameter. This would not resemble video games as we know them today. The instruction manual depicts a controller with a directional pad, completely devoid of analog controls. This suggests that the game may have been created before the invention of the wheel. The system would have run on very few bits, there was no blast processing. Dr. Vader's team even believes that the controller couldn't be used with the video game system without having a wire connected between the two. Now, we're not yet sure exactly how these ancient people were able to use a wired controller without tripping on it or getting wrapped up in it, but that's something that hopefully time and a little more research will hopefully shed some more light on. The other artifact to have survived is the game's musical soundtrack, which was preserved on a cassette tape. Dr. Vader's team was able to extract the sound files from the cassette digitally with a series of vacuum hoses and magnets, through a complicated and delicate process known as hypersonic digitative extractication. The results were nothing short of incredible. Video game music soundtracks today have a wide variety of sounds and sound channels. You can have the sound of an entire orchestra, layered with a number of sound effects, layered with voiceovers. The Valley of the Kings music soundtrack is interesting because it appears to have only utilized 4 channels of sound. Now that's very limited and very indicative of how primitive the technology was. If you think of how lame 8-track cassettes were, the Valley of the Kings music technology basically would have been twice as lame. I think that really puts into perspective just how lame it was. All of these findings are soon going to be submitted to the internet, where they can be viewed and listened to by the public. I believe very strongly in video game preservation. Valley of the Kings is a crucial part of video game history. People need to see this. People need to hear this. I hope nobody ever gets the chance to play it, though, because it looks terrible.